Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. We're back to talk about Love is Blind season 9, the Denver season. We put in quotes because who knows if they actually are from Denver, but a couple of them probably are. So before we get into our episode 8 recap, little Love is Blind universe tea, I guess. People were asking, are we going to cover Lydia and Milton's divorce, which obviously we did cover when she broke the news back in, I think that was April or May, sometime at the start of the summer. So basically, she filed for divorce and then he didn't respond to that. And then it was quiet for a while. But then he has responded now, accusing her of. So in Lydia's original filing, she accused him of cruel treatment, of infidelity, which she went into a lot of detail on AD's podcast, What's the Reality? So if you didn't catch that, she gave all the tea. And I think we did a little recap on here too. So back in the summertime, so Milton has finally responded. Well, he responded on Friday, September 22nd, and he wanted her petition to be dismissed. He filed a counterclaim saying that she was guilty of cruel treatment towards him, of a nature that renders further living together insupportable. And he also said that they had a conflict of personalities, which I didn't know you could get divorced. Like, I didn't know that was like a reason, but that probably happens a lot.
Right.
And he just wanted his legal fees paid by her. So basically, the big bombshell in that, I guess, is he said cruel treatment, which is what she said. So no actual like evidence of this cruel treatment. That's just what he's saying. People wanted an update. That's the update. It doesn't sound like they're anywhere near like settling it. They're both just filing things, accusing each other, but nobody has, I guess, because it's like a legal divorce, right? It's not like a breakup, so they're not posting the receipts and the tea in their stories. They got to save it for the legal proceedings. People are asking us to cover it, but there isn't much, just the legal documents so far. So see what happens and if they give any of support to these accusations of each other, but so far it's just the legal filings. So that's the update on the latest Love is Blind divorce. So I think that's the latest. No one has filed after that, have they? No, that was season 5. So
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that's our latest.
yes.
Almost
Yes. I'm like,
cup of coffee.
I know, I got my ghost cup today. We're getting to the October spirit.
I
Halloween
told
is
you
coming.
I had found a really cute cat mug, black cat mug at Target, that I was gonna buy, but then I bought my niece a bunch of stuff and I put my mug back.
Oh. You can never have too many mugs though, so
I love mugs, but I put it back because I don't know, I thought the $5 was gonna make a difference in the dollars that I spent. I now realize it's not, so I'm gonna go back and get my damn mug.
you're being financially resourceful. So
Yeah,
nothing.
I'm like, now I know what moms experience when they were like, I spent $1 on myself, and I'm like,
Right. I know. It's so fun to buy kid stuff, but it's good to give yourself a little treat too sometimes.
it's
So
not fun, Ashley. It's not.
no.
It's not fun. I'd rather spend that at Sephora 100%.
Yeah, at least the kid stuff is cheap. Just don't get your niece into Sephora because then you'll be in a whole mess of trouble. She'll be stealing your makeup, taking your stuff. I'm sure she will anyway. So the kids start that early now.
Well, she has a little purse, and I'll see one of my lip glosses, one of my something in there, and I'll be like, and she'll just look, and she'll be like,
That's so cute. When I was a teenager, all we had was like that apricot scrub, you know, that one that has like the shells in it. It was like horrible, so bad for your skin. Now they're doing like 30-step skincare. They got the eye patches. I don't have girls, so this is what I hear. But I was gonna say boys are cheaper, but I'm sure they're gonna be finding things to spend money on too. That's not Sephora maybe, but other stuff.
right.
Yes, kids are expensive. Any other exciting updates? Any dating updates? Supposed to be
No.
doing it for the plot for us.
I'm supposed to be, but I don't know where to find people, and I don't
No.
have time to go outside of my house.
Yes.
So they're
Not
gonna
with
need to
your
wait till
niece
after
there.
Love is Blind season. The world is gonna have to wait till after Love is Blind season.
In November, when it's quieter, then we'll get you out on some fun dates or
Yes,
something. So,
yes, for sure.
well, should we get into episode 8?
Yes.
Started again with Madison and Joe having a little fight, just like episode 7 did. Did you think it was weird that she's never introduced her family to like a partner, or does that happen?
I guess it just depends on your age, and then some people are really private about who they bring around their parents. Like I
Mm,
don't think that I've ever introduced a partner to my grandma. Because my
yeah,
grandma, I know that there's a certain expectation that comes with that, and unless I'm marrying this person, my grandma don't wanna meet them, my grandma don't wanna see them, so
right. So
yeah,
only if you're like serious. So that must be how Madison feels, I guess, like because
yeah,
she's not really gotten to like the engagement, marriage stage, no point in like introducing someone.
yeah. Yeah, and I think that's kind of how that's interesting because I kinda think that that's where the fight came from. I think he was trying to say like, "Oh, dang, like, you've never introduced anybody to your family, but you seem so calm, like, you seem so, like,
Mhm.
this is just you're so relaxed about it," and she's like, "You're mad at me because I like you too much," and she's like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, you're just, like, really calm about it," and I'm kinda, like, freaking out about it because it's a big deal, right? I'm not
Mhm.
saying I'm freaking out about you, I'm just saying this is a big deal, like, you're introducing I mean, he's obviously been engaged before, but it's like, you're getting married, your family's so excited about it, right? Like, this is how the fight kind of started. Your
Yeah.
family's so excited, they've never met a partner, but nobody has any reservations? How come nobody has reservations? Aren't reservations, like, normal? And it's like, "You have
Mhm.
reservations about me?" And I don't think that's what he was trying to say.
Well, we saw this dynamic between them in the pods, right? Remember this whole 7-Eleven conversation where she was like trying to get him to describe a date and he was like panicking, like I didn't know what to say. And she was like, no, say this, you do this. Like she was like really on him for not speaking properly to what she thought. And I think maybe not all women, but sometimes we can do this where you have this expectation that your partner is going to say something, right? And you have your hopes up that they're going to say things in a certain way, and when they don't, you get upset, right? Instead of just letting them be them and say things the way they want to say it, you put your expectations on them and then you get disappointed. I
Yeah.
think that keeps happening with Madison and Joe a lot. She thinks she wants them to be like, of course, I'm sure, like, we're getting married and so reassuring, but that's not realistic. That's not fair to expect of him. And it seems like he can't do any right because she wants him to say certain things and he's not. So he just
Correct.
keeps failing her little
Yeah.
tests, right?
Yeah, and I think he's just not doing it her way, like you said.
Mhm.
Like, I think and I do think he needs to be more intentional with his words because sometimes they can come off like when he said well, I honestly didn't think it was that bad when he was like, "And I wanna be able to tell you something and you not react like it's the end of the world," and then she
Yeah.
overreacted to that, like and he was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that," like, but to me, it
Yeah.
was like you are acting like it's the end of the world because you're trying to make what I said into something I didn't say, and that's annoying,
Hmm.
and we've seen Annie do the same thing with Nick, like, he never said that you loved him more than that. He just said, "I'm not ready to get married tomorrow," like, and you put words in his mouth of that you somehow love him more and he loves you less, and I feel like
Hmm.
Madison did that because he said, I'm he didn't even say I'm having reservations. He was just like, how are you basically getting through this experience with so much ease and no worry and like no nothing?" And then she
Hmm.
took that as a personal attack against her. And
Yeah.
I feel like we are hearing him say, "I love you." We are hearing him say, "I want to marry you." We are hearing him say, you know, "You're my person." But it's like you said, she wants it in a specific way. She wants it the way that she says it, and it's like, it's not always
Yeah.
gonna be that way. Boys are stupid, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're literally
They are.
dumb. They think that they're sa and I noticed him, like, kinda laughing in disbelief, and that was kind of my reaction too, because I was like, "Oh my god, like, is she
Hmm.
really taking this there? Is this really are we really watching this?" Like,
Hmm.
but and then it's like some people will look at that and be like, "Oh my god, he's laughing at her," and it's like, "No, he's not laughing at her. He's literally, like, where am
Mhm.
I going wrong, right? Like, I think I'm explaining myself so thoroughly and so well, and, like, it just keeps getting worse. Like, what do I say? You know?
Yeah, it's so hard because, like I said in the last episode, I get that they have these expectations because this person proposed and said, I love you. So they think there shouldn't be any more reservations and that's it. But that's not the experiment, right? It's the whole point is the second part of the experiment. Going from these pods where you felt like you love this person to does that translate to this real world living our life? So you have to give a little more grace to the person that like they're still figuring it out, right? Instead of getting so upset, like she took off her ring and was I don't know if that was like a breakup or she was just trying to
To me,
tell
that
him.
indicates, right? Like, you're ending an engagement. And to me, you're telling him that he's not marriage minded
Mhm.
because he's having reservations about an experiment where you get married in 3 weeks. I think everybody that's ever gone through this experiment will say that they've had some type of reservation. I don't
Yeah.
think Joe should be crucified for that. And it's like, again, you're telling him he's not marriage minded, but the minute you didn't hear something you didn't like, you took off your ring. To me, that's not marriage minded.
No. And I don't know if he does say anything about that to her, but I would like that's a toxic way to do a relationship, right? So if she keeps doing that, I would think that they're not going to last. Like if she takes off her ring in a fight, then once they're married, is it like, oh, I want a divorce in a fight? Like it's just a weird
Yeah.
way to
I don't
communicate.
see them making it with how they communicate with each other. They have very
No.
different communication styles.
Yeah, it's not going well. Well, it does get better, but we'll get there. Then do we see Meg go to Jordan's apartment next? Because I only wrote down Meg house, but I know they're not at the house looking at the house yet. I don't know if I watched episode 9. I couldn't stop myself, so
Ah,
I'll cut this
I
out.
didn't
But
watch it. I didn't
is
watch
it
it. So
small?
it has to be
Oh my
the
god, it has to be the apartment then.
Okay, so hey, wait, I have notes. So we have Madison and Joe's fight, taking the ring off. Um, oh, and
Then Meg.
then we have a little scene with Anton and Allie because we find out that he's a truck driver.
Oh, I have that after the Meg thing. I have Madison and Joe, then Meg house, then Allie and Anton after. So was there
Oh,
a
maybe I didn't even write down anything about them going to his house.
Oh, okay. That must be that part. I'll just say a
Yeah.
quick thing about it. Then we see Meg see Jordan's house. I guess condo is like an apartment. Was it? He only had one bedroom, right? So he was sleeping in the living room, and she
Yes.
was like, "This is not going to work for three of us."
Yes.
But I
Mhm.
mean, I don't think she's shocked. I feel like Jordan was honest about his living situation, his financial situation. So she knows that going into this. So
Yeah,
she
I
didn't
mean,
seem
what a
like,
cute place. He gave
yeah,
his son, the bedroom and took the living room, which I mean, if you can't afford a two-bedroom, then yeah, that's the best way to do it to where you guys both have your space, so
yeah. Yeah, she didn't seem like to give him a hard time about that, just that it wouldn't work for the 3 of them, but, I mean, if they had to make it work, I feel like it could work, but, then we see Allie and Anton in their morning routine, 'cause they both work night shifts, I guess. Is
mhm.
that yeah,
Yeah,
and so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he did mention something about her being grumpy, did you catch that? Like, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're
and I didn't
grumpy."
think she was being grumpy, which was bizarre. I'm like, "What did
I
she say
think
that was grumpy?"
I think what he said was, "You're not grumpy right now." I think she maybe is a little different, and we've seen this before. She's a little
Mhm.
different when the cameras are off, right? We saw this with Chelsea and Kwame way back in season 4. Remember when they would get on camera, he would make not little digs, but he would kind of be like, "Oh, you're a little different right now. This isn't how you were being earlier," insinuating when the cameras are up, you're like happy, sunny, like everything's great, but then maybe you're not quite that way. So that's what I got from what he was saying. Like
Okay,
she's
maybe.
kind of coming across as like perfect and nice on camera, but
Yes.
when it's just the two of us, she's a little spicier, right?
Okay.
That's what I thought he was trying to say. But they had to talk about cleaning. Like she said, when I'm working, I'm not really worried about cleaning. And it seems like they have some disagreements about who's going to be doing what kind of like household stuff.
Yeah, I thought she had said that it's when she's in school. Like, well, when I'm in school, I mean, she was kind of telling him my plan is to go back to school full time, and when I'm in
Mhm.
school, my mom handles, like, the cooking and the cleaning. I
Yeah.
moved her for a portion of time and basically was like, "Will you be able to financially hold up the household,
Support us.
like, yeah, support us while I go to school?" And he said yes. We did see, basically, he's a truck driver. He trains truck drivers, new drivers. I thought he'd drive for Lyft.
Yeah.
Um, and he said he would have,
Transportation and logistics was very confusing to a lot of people.
yeah,
So,
that
now we
part.
have an
So,
answer.
yeah, now we know the answer, but I don't know, I just think that they have very different views on finances, right? Like, you could tell that
Mhm.
she very much wants a provider who
Yes.
is gonna support the household. I mean, granted, she's educated, she's a nurse, she's continuing her education, but you could tell that that's just kind of, she wants a breadwinner. I don't know if Anton is that. So,
No, I did get the didn't she say at one point, like, "I want to not work eventually," or and he was like, "Oh, you could work, like, 2 days a week,"
yes, I felt like,
sort of
yeah,
something like that.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she wants I think this is smart when women, maybe you have children and you want to stay home with your children, but you have a good backup plan, right? Like she's educated, she's a nurse. Doesn't mean she wants to be a full time nurse while she has small kids. But then if something ever happens, you're not totally relying on this man. And if you get a divorce, you're screwed, right? You have your education and your career to fall back on. So I think it's silly when people are kind of like, oh, if you got an education or you have this good job, why would you want to stay home with your kids? It doesn't mean forever, right? Like you still need these education and training and skills. You can use them later on. So I
Right.
think just because she's in school or she's a nurse, like you said, she still wants a provider type man in case she doesn't want to be like working for a time. So
Yeah.
and the things add up. The Botox, the nails, the lashes. I mean, I do lashes. It's already a lot. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
doing
I don't do lashes,
all of
but
it.
I do nails.
We all got our things we like, and she
Yeah.
only mentioned Botox, but,
That seemed to be like her thing.
hair
That was really important for her, the Botox.
mhm, yes, and she looks great, so now I'm like, "Hmm, maybe
Yeah,
I
he's
need
like,
some
"You
advice."
gotta we got a budget," is basically what he said, so
Yes, which I get. Even some men that have a lot of money are still not necessarily like, not that they're cheap, but, sometimes you have a lot of money because you're frugal, right? So they're not necessarily like buy this and do this and whatever you want. Like that's a mindset that you can have having a lot of money or a little. So she's
right.
seems like she's trying to find out what kind of mindset do you have budget wise, right? Are you going to
Right,
be like caring about this? Can I have my own bank account so you're not seeing it so it doesn't stress you out? So
right, right,
but
right.
yeah, they don't seem on the same page, right? About
They don't,
finances.
and that's the second conversation about it. Like, the ring was the first kind of hint that they're gonna have trouble regarding finances, and this is the second, yeah.
Yeah. So then we get to meet Edmund's mom. So what did you think of Edmund around his mom? Like I felt like he was different, like less
Well,
Edmund-ish, like what we've seen with
yeah.
the floor kissing and hiding in the cupboards. Like he seemed more mature when she was around, or do you think that they just didn't show his
Maybe they just didn't show it, but I
Mhm.
felt like he definitely wasn't acting like a child. I think
Mhm.
in front of his mom, he was trying to give grown man that's, like, ready to get married. I thought it was hilarious that the mom was like, I felt a baby coming." I'm like, "Not from them,
Uh,
girl. Not from fucking, so I don't know what the hell you was feeling." But, KB seemed
he-
to, like, get along well with his mom, but it didn't seem like a mother and daughter-in-law dynamic, if that makes sense. It almost seemed, like, professional in a way. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, they weren't it wasn't, like, warm and fuzzy, it was more, like, respect and acknowledgement, but not like yeah, not like, "This is my mother-in-law," sort of a relationship. So
Yeah.
is he, like, the baby of the family then? It seems like he has 4 because she kept mentioning 4 daughter-in-laws, so I guess he has, like, 4 older brothers? Is that sort of
Mhm.
what
I think maybe he's the youngest. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
That
That's what
does kind of explain his behavior a little, not to this level, but, if he's always been, like, the baby of the family I know he talked about his childhood, obviously, he didn't necessarily grow up with all of these siblings, but I don't know, I keep trying to figure out Edmund, like, he's so complex.
peculiar. Yeah.
Yes. I know so many people are diagnosing him again. We've mentioned on the internet. Until he says something, I'm not going to say anything about. He only knows what he
Yeah, and
is and why he
it's
is the way he
right,
is.
and it's not it's not for us to speculate, right? Like,
Mhm.
no, we have to give our opinions based on what is a fact, which is that
Yeah.
according to you, you haven't said anything, so you are a fully functioning, able adult, so it's bizarre how you act, bruh. Like, that's it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we gotta be real. I've seen people on the internet still trying to be like, "No, he's so sweet," and, like, "They're so cute together," and now I'm like, I tried at first.
you
When it was
call Mary
pods
and
only.
Lyndon.
Yeah. When it was the pods and the engagement, I was like, "Alright, this is fine," and then, yeah, it's getting harder and harder, especially after the what happened in Baja. It's harder to see this as a good relationship for
Not good. She's
her.
over it. She's over
Yeah.
it. Like, she's not marrying that man, she's the ick. She's just like, "Okay, whatever. Whatever you like, whatever makes you happy." I feel like we didn't see
She's
a
like,
lot
"Is
of
it
them
done
in
yet?"
7 or 8. Maybe we'll see more of them in 9, but,
Mhm.
I feel like we didn't really see much of them in 7 or 8 because I don't
No.
really have anything written down
Well,
about them.
his mom did say they would have secrets against Edmund, like her and KB. Is that like if you were marrying someone? No, you always your partner is your number one, not your mom, right? You
Yeah.
wouldn't have those secrets like, about. I guess like if you're going to her for advice about him, but then even that I find kind of weird,
Yeah,
right?
you shouldn't.
Okay,
I wouldn't do
not a
that.
good idea.
It's not a
No,
good idea at all. Like, you have your relationship with your mother-in-law, a healthy relationship with your mother-in-law, but as far as, like, it's like me and my mother-in-law against my husband, no, that's not how.
no, that seems like a bad idea, and like they would just start seeing you like their mother, then, right? Like even though I'm sure people do accidentally marry people like their mothers, you don't wanna, like, feel like it's your mom and your wife against you or talking about you. It's a little
Yeah,
weird,
yeah.
but on par, I guess, for Edmund's life, but his mom seemed great and excited for him, which is sad because yeah, I don't think a baby's coming from this experiment for them, but
No,
we could
yeah,
be wrong.
neither is a marriage, so
No. No baby, no marriage. Duh, we're just getting through
focus on
and
your other sons, mom.
yeah. Um, then we see Jordan meet Megan's family, which was all the families are always so sweet. That's like one of my favorite parts because they always, like, with the exception of a couple, like everyone's family is so great, and it almost makes you like them more because you're like, oh, their family's pretty good, so like
Yeah, they
they're
really
good.
live in person.
Yeah, and you're like, they always show the families in a good light, which is fair because they're not. That's a lot to go on TV for your child that's trying to marry someone through a wall. So it's nice that they show them in a good light. But he didn't know what burrata was. I feel like my husband wouldn't either, so I try not to like think that's weird. Is that
Yeah.
weird though? Like, should a man know burrata or no?
I mean, maybe you should if you just had it. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, she said that you just had it. That's what
Yeah.
also made me confused about, Megan's living situation. Like, you live in LA, does your mom and sister live in Denver, or did you guys fly out for this meeting? Like, what's going on here? Are we trying to make it seem like you live in Denver? Where does mom and sister live, you know? So, I don't know.
Yeah. And how would they feel about her moving to Denver then, right? Like that, if they're not in Denver, are they in LA? It's very confusing about where all of these people are from. But yeah, I think at first I was like, "Oh, he doesn't know what burrata is." Like they really live different lives. But then I'm like, my husband wouldn't even eat that, so I can't talk. So it's maybe more of a thing the girls get when we go out for
I
like,
love burrata.
yeah. I'm like, I wouldn't order it with him, so it makes sense. So,
That's so funny.
but her mom and sister seem nice, and the dream her sister had, that was sweet. Obviously, they have
Yes.
such a deep connection with Jordan's son having diabetes as well, and yeah, I thought it was cute. They seemed
Super
excited about
emotional.
Jordan.
Super emotional. Yeah, they seem to really like Jordan. I think he fit in really well. He was able to banter. I like
Mhm.
Jordan. Like, I think Jordan, for the most part, is never give a man credit, first of all, but you know what I mean? Like, for the most part, like, seems like a good guy. Like, he seems like one of the only good ones from the bunch.
Yeah. I'm, like, still skeptical, I think.
I'm still skeptical, like, because he's a man. You know, you
Yeah.
always skeptical of him, but
It's true. I I know. It's so hard because I'm like, if Megan was flat broke, how would he be acting right now?
Well,
Like, she
he's
does have this.
definitely giving gold digger. Now, yes, he's giving like, I'm ready for this come up. But I don't know, because then we see, we know that they're going to go look for houses. And from what we've seen in the preview, I haven't watched 9 yet, but what we had seen in the previews from last week was like he wasn't really going to be okay with the type of house she wanted to get. And I don't know if that's because he couldn't afford it, or because if he's a gold digger, it's like, oh, if you got it, you got it.
Yeah.
Have at it, boo. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
get
So,
And that's the thing, right? Is there any relationship where a woman can have like because they're not even close financially, right? So is
Chris,
there a relationship where a woman can basically be the breadwinner, pay for everything, and it's still going to be a good relationship? The man's not going to get insecure or
Chris and
jealous.
Corey, Chris and Corey, Chris
Yeah,
Jenner,
that's
for
true.
example. You know what I mean? So I think it does work. But it's like someone like Chris Jenner, like, doesn't really need her man to pull his own weight at all.
Hmm.
Like, some people just they just want the companionship, and they don't mind, like, paying for every single thing. And,
But in that situation, she's like 20 years older than him, right? Or
oh,
25?
yeah. Sugar
Yeah.
mama. But, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know, because I think that any man will get insecure about that and start to feel emasculated in a sense. But I don't,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bums out here, Ashley, that don't give a flying fuck, that they're just like, hell yeah, you want to pay for
Yeah.
everything? It's up, it's lit, as Edmund would say.
Yeah, and that is hard to like, how will that work having a child, right? And then so it's not really Jordan's money, right? So she's going to be paying for probably like Megan's finances could afford his child a lot of experiences and things in life, but will his mom be okay with that, right? Like, and will she be okay with that eventually? And what if it doesn't work out with Megan and Jordan, but they're together for like 5 years, and then what? He's going to get support from her, and what about his child? Or they just go back to this broke life, or are they hoping the show is gonna bring him to the level of Megan with all of their deals and endorsements, right? Like, I don't know what the master plan is because I just don't know if that could work. And what is Megan's business going to keep bringing this money in? Like, is this a long-term plan, or was she in LA to pivot this? I don't know. I'm confused
I've
because
got questions.
yes. I'm like, What are you guys gonna do with all this money, and is it gonna work out? Because it's just a weird not weird, it's just not what we're used to seeing, right? It's usually the other way around. The man has the money, and we never second guess that. We're like, "That's great, good for her. Go for the man with money." But now it's the reverse, and we're like, is it gonna be like you said, he's like, "Buy everything for me, it's all good, I'm happy, this is awesome for me."
Jordan doesn't
Or
see, I don't know. I don't know if he's giving gold digger. But he carries his own weight, and maybe that's enough for Megan. Maybe it's just enough
mhm,
that, like, you can take me to dinner. We can, go on date nights, and you can, carry your portion of the household bills, and maybe that's enough.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and if they do get married, obviously it will give them a lot of opportunities. I don't know how well financially the couples from the last few seasons are doing, but like I said, they seem to be doing content creation full time. So maybe he will have money in a couple years, and it won't be such a discrepancy. And maybe that's sort of what they're banking on, right? That this isn't long term. He's not going to be broke forever and she's the one always paying. Maybe they're like, this is temporary. I'll have money too soon, and we'll be fine. So they just don't seem to be worried about the long term of him being I don't know if he's broke, but
I think he's broke.
he's
He's
not
just well above her. I mean, well below her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, interesting dynamic. So it's cool to see this, but then we see Nick and his um mountain cabin, his house, whatever it is. Did you notice he used the word size queen?
Yes. Mhm. I
Do
think,
you have
is that an innuendo? Like, I feel like he makes a lot of sexual
he does.
innuendos.
He he likes a
And
sexual
he
innuendo.
and he called her a size queen?
I've
No.
never heard a straight man say size queen.
I've never heard a straight man say queen, actually. So that I
Yeah,
don't but what's the
I
difference?
think I it says size queen is slang for someone, often but not exclusively, a gay man who prefers larger penises or a generally larger physical build in a sexual partner. So he was
Stop.
familiar
Stop it.
and he like he knows all the sexual slang, right? Like what else he's talked about the carpet before, the chode came from Nick. He's teaching us a lot of terms. So
Mm.
I don't know why he does that. He's a very sexual person, I guess, and
He's a very sexual person that knows a lot of terms that he wouldn't.
penis terms.
He knows a lot of penis terms that belong that are commonly used by a community that he allegedly wouldn't like his child to be a part of.
He also is the one that said he texts his friends his dick is curly. So he has an
I would just like
obsession, I
to
think.
point out that I asked all of my straight male friends if they send each other dick pics in their mail group chats, and I would just like to know that across the board, the answer was absolutely fuck no.
Nick, yeah, he's keeping us busy with things to talk about because I feel like his parents are gonna be shocked because they
He
seemed
said, didn't
very
he say? Didn't he also say, my mama will just be happy I'm bringing home a girl?
I actually screenshotted that because I thought that's what he said. I thought he said, "My mom will just be happy I have a girlfriend." And I was like, "What?" And then I realized I believe this is what he meant. He said, "My mom will just be happy I'm bringing home a girlfriend for her, like a girlfriend for her," is what I think he meant. But could go either way because yeah, I did.
Freudian slip, maybe?
There's
I
a
don't know.
he has a lot of slips like this, right? So I don't know. They know they're on camera, so he's being who he wants to be, and we're gonna talk about it. If you're gonna say
Yeah.
things like chode and size queen and curly, we got to talk about it. It's not what we usually hear on this show, but it's been a very sexual season. So,
Yeah.
anyways, his house was cute.
Very
Go
cute.
back to
Very
the
cute.
house.
Very cute.
I like
Mountain
the
is cute.
the mountain theme. Is it like far then? I guess it's not in Denver.
She said an hour. He said an hour
Okay.
from the city. So I feel like that's not too far to where you couldn't date. Like, I don't know why people who live an hour away from each other, like, I dated this guy who lived in Downey, and Downey is like 45 minutes from where I live. And he acted
Yeah.
like we were in a long distance relationship. And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
first of all,
Yeah.
you, because there was a guy who lived like 2 hours away that, like, the guy that you're not really into, 2 hours would try and drive out here every 2-3
Yeah.
days to like. He's like, it's just 2.5 hours. I'm like, okay, that's far. 45 minutes. I'm like,
No, that's probably normal for LA, right? Like the traffic, like it would be so hard to find someone close, right?
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
45 minutes is nothing. It's like you can, and then it's like, oh, that was like 45 minutes, like with no traffic, but I just don't go when there's traffic, or you just don't come when there's traffic, but whatever. Excuses. So I was like, an hour is like, that's doable to where we could
Yeah.
still, I mean, obviously, if you guys are getting married, you're going to live together, but we see exactly on this episode what we were talking about with Tatiana and Yannick from Love is Blind France. They know that there's going to be an adjustment period. Like,
Mhm.
she's like,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to sell your mountain house, but I cannot move right now. So it's a great possibility that we're not going to live together for a while. You'll
And I
probably
think that would
my
be
place a few times a week or whatever.
yeah, I think it would be kind of cool to have like a place in the city for the week and then they got like a little mountain house for the weekends. They could keep both. I think he said that that was like a possibility. So if there was a way they could do both, I mean, not that this couple is going to work out, but
Yeah.
if they did, they're not giving marriage material. But if they did work out, that would be cool to have a city place and a mountain place, like best of
Yeah,
both.
it
So,
would, but they're not getting married 100%.
no. So then we see Madison meet Joe's family. Is this the first we're hearing that he was engaged before?
think so, yeah.
Okay.
First time I
Yeah,
heard
they're
of
dropping a lot of bombshells in these family episodes. So, yeah, he was engaged before. I guess we haven't heard what happened there yet, right? No,
No
I need the
tea.
tea.
Mm,
Yeah, we need the tea.
tea.
So, yeah, maybe that contributes to Madison's insecurities with him. Maybe he's ended an engagement before and she feels like he's still
She said it
not
did.
ready.
They asked her that they asked her at the dinner, "Do you have any reservations because he's been engaged before?" She said no.
Which,
Wouldn't
yeah.
that also imply that he is marriage minded and ready for marriage if he's been engaged before? Like he's obviously looking for his lifetime partner.
Well, it depends on what happened. If he ended it, then no. But if she ended it, then yes. So that's why we need the details. Because I'm like, if he proposed to someone before and then was like, never mind, like that would be concerning. But
Right, right,
if he got dumped, then yeah, he's definitely looking for someone. So
right.
we need that. But yeah, his family seemed great. And they had a better dynamic with his family there, which I thought was interesting because she kept it chill. Like she wasn't
Because
her.
you're not gonna bicker and right? Like you're not gonna jump down his throat or get mad at every little fucking thing or nitpick him when his
Yes.
fucking sisters are there.
And you could see that that made his walls come down a little, and he was like, "This is the Madison from the pods," and they seemed actually, like, in love and happy. I think, usually he's walking on eggshells and, like, saying the wrong thing, and she's freaking out, and because he knew that wasn't gonna happen with his family there, and she was not reacting to every little thing he said, or maybe he was acting more in love in front of them, but he seemed the same. I don't know.
He
They
seems
just
the
seemed.
same and he's rubbing her back. He's constantly touching her. Madison is really a cute girl. So it's like, I don't see a world where he's not attracted to her. Like, I don't
Yeah.
see a world where it's like, oh, I don't think she's hot. Like, she has a very nice face or whatever. Like, rather you like really petite girls. You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, without saying, like, Madison visually looks really good. So I definitely think his
Yeah.
physical attraction has grown and he's
Mhm.
into her. So I don't really know why people are it's like we see how somebody acts when you're not like look at how Irina treated Zach. Like you know what I mean? Like we can tell when somebody's not
Ay.
or even because I had thought that that Jimmy wasn't into Chelsea at their reveal, but then they were like having sex and he seemed
Yeah.
to be trying to. And
It
again,
might just be
he was
though.
so insecure and she was so that we ended up being like to her, like, girl, relax. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I will remember Chelsea and Jimmy did have that fight though where he like turned her down for sex and like I think that I would have been done at that point. Like I don't think you could recover from that. Not that like you should sleep with your
Because
partner whenever, but she already felt like he wasn't attracted to her. So I'm like,
but it's like if we've been bumping tacos and then it's like
true.
I have one night where I don't really want to,
Yeah,
I don't
that's true.
you
If
should
it's
take
just one.
it personal. You shouldn't take it personal because if you were tired and you didn't want to do it one night, like I
Yeah.
wouldn't take it personal. It's like people are sometimes in a mood and sometimes they're not, you know?
hmm Do we really think Jimmy was into Chelsea though? It's so
No.
hard to tell, right?
It's
I know.
so I think he was trying, and I think it
Yeah, they're
I
trying.
don't think he was okay, here's the thing. I don't think that Jimmy was into Chelsea, but I don't think it was because of her looks.
Yes,
At
and
the
I think
same
the
way
same
that
thing with
what
Joe
I
and
see
Madison,
it
right?
happening with Joe and Madison.
Yes,
I don't
I
think
agree.
I think that he's into her, but she is like, she's self-sabotaging with her attitude and with the nitpicking. I
Yeah,
thought the same thing with Cole and Zeneb. I think the same thing with Chelsea and Jimmy. Like he did like her, he was trying, but you keep like your attitude is oh, you're acting actually like Chelsea was a whole different ball game because she was super insecure. She was acting like a nut. So I think it's those factors that make somebody not like you. And then
yeah.
you're so quick to be like, it's because I'm not a size 2, and it's like, "Oh, how about it's because every time I try to express myself, you jump down my fucking throat, or because I
Mhm.
was drunk and you personalized it, or because of who knows what the fuck else is coming up, but
Ugh.
I just know this isn't their last fight."
No, I know. I think there's more coming, but the last thing that happened in this episode was Anton and Allie meet his friends. I guess those are his friends, and messy Melissa spilled all the tea to Allie,
Why would
and
she do that?
right. I don't know. She thought, I think people are not aware, like when you're in the bathroom, you're still mic'd up and they
Maybe
catch
that's what it
everything.
seemed like. That's what it seemed like. Which we
Hmm.
love a secret recorded conversation when you think you're not on camera.
Yeah, it was good. And I wonder if they're still together, this Melissa and whatever his name was, because although he was kind of being the same, right? When the
Yeah.
cameras were clearly there and he was like, "Oh, I thought you were gonna leave after 2 weeks," and not, you could see that Anton was like, "Shut up, we're
Get
on
the fuck out of
camera."
here.
Yeah. So
Oh, and
that's
closed down the McDonald's for 4 hours to drink, like but to me, I'm like, Melissa was spilling tea, but I don't think it's anything like, I don't think you can judge Anton for what he was doing when he was single, and I feel like Melissa kept trying to drive that point home. She kept trying to be like,
Mhm,
"Well, yeah, when they were single, they partied. Well, yeah, when they were single, they did this." Like, I don't think that's something you can hold against Anton for something he
mhm,
was doing when he was single. Like, we seen it with Chelsea and Jimmy to where it's like, you're trying to act like you're ready for marriage, but you're out at the bars every night. If he's not out at the
mhm,
bars every night while you guys are together, like, I don't see the problem with it as if he's not
mhm.
doing it now. But I see the
Yeah.
problem with lying about it and trying to act like it's just your friend when really it's you too.
Yeah, and is he gonna be able to change his lifestyle that fast, right? Like, if, like, a month ago, him and this guy were hitting strip clubs and partying and drinking,
4
is
months
he
ago.
yeah, that's
'Cause
like she's
they said that they stopped once he got in a relationship, and they've been
yeah.
in a relationship. So for me,
But
I'm like,
you know what, though? She also said, "They go to the strip club and I don't like it." So I feel like it's still going on, and she was trying to backtrack. When she said 4 months, I think she was trying to backtrack because she realized what she was seeing Allie's reaction that was, like, not happy, and she thought Allie was kinda gonna be like, "Oh, boys will be boys," and like, "Oh, that well, I'll put a stop to that," or, like, kinda join in on with her mindset, and instead was she looked genuinely like, "Shit, I didn't know this guy was like this." Like, she
yeah,
realized that she
yeah,
was potentially changing things because you have to make a decision so fast, right? So you have to
yeah,
rely on these stories from friends and family to be like, even if he
right.
tells her right now, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm changing. A year down the road, is he going to go back to that? Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is difficult because it's like you never wanna judge like, people sometimes people who they are in a relationship and who they are when they're single are literally 2 different people, so you don't wanna judge him for what he's doing when he's single, but if you're sitting here trying to like, lie to me and be like, "Oh, my friend's a wild boy. He used to be do he's the one that does all of this, and I'm just like this innocent little birdie," then it's
Hmm.
like, "Bitch, you both do it." You know? Because
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want somebody that's in the bars all the time, but if he hasn't been living that kinda life, I guess you wouldn't really know because the only reason you're single is because you're with me. So, and
Hmm.
that's what happens in these experiments where 3 weeks is too long. You don't know. Like
Yeah.
that's why you have to get to know a person to decide, do our lifestyles blend together? Do they mesh, you know?
Yeah, and that's the hard thing is he just going out to the clubs with his friend because he's single and has nothing better to do, but he would prefer to be home with a girlfriend or a wife? Or does he genuinely like doing that, but because he has a girlfriend, "Oh, I better not do that," and eventually you can't keep up, like, you are who you are, right? And if you aren't allowed to do something because you're in a relationship, you can only keep that up so long, and then you wanna either get divorced or break up so you can go back to that lifestyle, or you try to do both, and so I'm interested to see how that goes. But I think that's all for episode 8. We'll be back for episode 9. We have episode 7 out already, so go check that out. And any final thought?
Oh, you guys are gonna want to stay tuned at the end of episode 9. We'll just say that.
Oh, okay. Got a little
Yeah.
surprise. All right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.